What's good, YouTube? It's Envoy here, and today we're going over Black Ops 6 settings to make you the best at the new title. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Black Ops 6, and I know what you guys are thinking. It's been a while since you've had a settings video. Are you sure your settings are even good? I mean, yeah, they're good, man. I have the most updated and brand new Black Ops settings that are going to get you moving different with the Omni movement, because trust me, I had to change a bunch of them when I came into this year. So yeah, let's hop right into it. We're going right to controller settings. We don't play with keyboard and mouse here on Call of Duty. First thing is going to be your sensitivity. We are bumping up to 7.7 this year. If you guys watched my settings video in the past, you guys know 6.6 has always been the standard for me and other pro players. So it's changing to 7.7 this year. Simple as that. I feel like if you're on 6.6, feels like 5.5. If you're on 7.7, feels like 6.6. So I'd recommend everyone bumping it up. I know a couple pros even play higher than this. For instance, I know even Scrappy, he plays on 6.6 still because he's trying to, you know, have those beams with the AR. But for me, I'm trying to move around, get loose with it, so I bumped up to 7.7. Keep moving down. Another big one is going to be dead zones. Dead zones, they're different a little bit every year, and it kind of depends on the controller you're using. But for me, with the Omni movement, a big thing for me this year was bumping down the left stick max. Before, I played on it at about 90, 95, and now I've bumped it down to 75. I've also experimented anywhere between 70 and 85, but I figure that 75 is the best. When I went down to 70, it just felt a little less responsive and a little more clunky, so I feel like 75 is that perfect zone. For the min on both sides, I mean, left stick min, a lot of people play at 0, so try 0 for yourself. I just feel that the stick drift kind of messes with my movement when I put it that low, so I like keeping it at 1. I mean, you guys are going to see a lot of these settings, you know, you could put at 0, but there's been theories that some of them are bugged when you're at 0 compared to 1 or 2, so I like staying above 0 and sticking with 1. You move to right stick, you know, right stick you're aiming, and I've always just kept my right stick min at 4. You guys can date back to other settings videos. I think maybe I was on 5 before, but the last 3 years I've been on 4. And then left trigger, right trigger, this is to shoot your gun, so you want to keep it as low as possible. For me, I just haven't like having 1 for this peace of mind that, you know, my setting is going to work. So yeah, I recommend 1 over 0 every time. Going on to aiming, there's nothing really we're going to change with the sensitivity multiplier. Advanced aim settings, we are going to change to dynamic. Standard, linear, dynamic. I feel like over the last couple years, dynamic has always been the best. We have a thing in the pro scene where we say that dynamic shoots for you. So I'd recommend putting it on. It makes it feel like you have so much aim assist, and ideally you're playing controller. I mean, that's the best part, right? So that's what I'm rocking with, dynamic aim assist, and all of these you can just keep pretty standard. I've never really messed with any of these settings, except for this one actually. I'm pretty sure ADS sensitivity transitioning isn't on instant to start, so make sure you have this on instant. Going back, target aim assist, you obviously want that on. Motion sensor settings, you want this completely off, so just don't even bother with that one. Headed over to movement though, if you guys want the best movement settings, I'm going to give them to you. For me, for a lot of people, you're going to want to have sprint assist on. Some people use tactical sprint assist, but it is not as good as just sprint assist on, and another setting that we're going to do a bit later. I like to have it on, and then, you know, like I said, rule of thumb, we're going with the delay at 1. Keep it simple. Mantle assist, crouch assist, I mean, hey, if you don't have the best movement, maybe you could try this out, but for me, you know, a veteran Call of Duty player, I've got, you know, 15 years under my belt. I think I can mantle and crouch and slide myself, so I'm gonna keep this off. But if you guys are having problems, I highly suggest turning it on. Along with corner slice, I feel like a lot of people have hated on corner slice to start the year. I'm still a little indifferent about what I'm going to use when the season starts, but for me, corner slice right now makes it feel like I'm tactical, straight up. I mean, it makes me feel like I'm in the game when I'm on a corner, when I'm playing a close angle. I love to see my gun, you know, turn a little bit, or even when I'm laying on the ground. So I love keeping corner slice on for the time being. That could change in the future, but you guys let me know what you guys think about it as well. Headed down a little more, we got movement behaviors. We're going to go to slide and dive. Me last year, I was never a hybrid person. I thought it was way too hard to use hybrid in the Modern Warfare games, but moving to Black Ops 6 with the Omni movement, I know it was time to put on hybrid. So I have it on now, and I will say it is easier than playing hybrid on MW2, MW3. When I went back for some kickoff tournaments or some off-season tournaments, it was drastically different of how hybrid is Modern Warfare compared to Black Ops 6. So if you have any doubt that you think you're not going to be good with hybrid in this, I would just give it a try. I mean, it's still going to take 10, 20, 30 games to get it under control, but ultimately it's going to pay off. Headed down more, I mean, all this stuff is pretty standard. Mantle cancels reload. I've tried experimenting with this setting, but you need to have some of the other assist stuff on for it to work. So having it on doesn't really do much. I have it on because it's just default on, but don't mess with it. It's not going to do much. Headed to movement advanced settings here. This is the other thing I am talking about when I say you want the best movement. You want single tap run. All right, single tap sprint, it's going to make it so you only got to click your left thumbstick once. Double tap, obviously double, you know, you're going to click it twice. But single tap run is going to make you run as soon as you move your stick forward. So that is going to be the best for movement. You guys see right now that I have double tap on. This is because pro player GAs in Black Ops 6, we only use double tap and sprint assist on for the time being. That changes throughout the year sometimes, and some people, you know, don't abide by the rules, but I would recommend using single tap run and using sprint assist on compared to tactical sprint assist. Plunging underwater, I've always been doing free. I feel like on the one water map a year, it seems like this makes you feel a lot better in the water and you have a lot more control. Although there is only the one water map this year, Low Town, which isn't competitive, so having this on does nothing for me, but hey, listen, I love getting a little slippery in the water. And that's going to top off our movement category, guys. I think we're headed over to combat now. Now, there's only a couple things here in combat. One of the biggest things is going to be body shield finishing move. This always starts off as prioritized finishing move, and hey, if you want to look stylish and you want to hit a finishing move on someone, I respect it. But here in the comp scene, and just in general, the new features of the body shield, I want to grab someone and put them in a body shield right away with no thought in my head that I'm going to produce a finishing move instead. So I have it on prioritized body shield, and I would recommend you guys do the same. As you go down, there really isn't much to change for competitive standpoint. A lot of these are really big in Warzone. Obviously, if you're in Warzone, you're going to want to have prioritize interact. For multiplayer, tap to reload just seems to be the best. With all the guns on the ground and picking up everything, you don't want to be doing that while you're mid gunfight. But in Warzone, hey, when you kill someone and they had all their loot on the ground, having that prioritize interact is always godlike. Yeah, that's going to top off our controller category, guys. Headed over audio first. Let's do audio here. Now listen, I play a master volume a little higher when I'm playing competitive, but for pubs and stuff, I keep it pretty low. When we go down to this audio configuration, I have been testing this new advanced audio configuration mode. Now, I don't want to show this because I think there's a QR code on here that can show my audio settings or whatever, but I'd highly recommend, if you have the time and money and you're really about the game, to put this on. It's like $20. This is no ad, but I put it on. It sounds a little bit better. Might get GA'd, might not, but for me, that's someone that plays all day. It was worth the test. You know, a lot of the Warzone kids use a bunch of different sound settings. This one is built into the game, and there's also frequencies that you can go over now too, which is just pretty unreal, but I'm not going to get too far into it like that. Going down more, we got audio mix. Headphones bass boost has always been the one I've gone with. I hear a lot of footsteps using this one, some that my teammates don't hear. But another big one this year is Sucker Punch. A lot of people are using Sucker Punch as well, saying the same thing. They hear a lot of footsteps and better sound cues. I've tried both, and maybe my ears are just trained for bass boost, but it seems better for me right now, so that's what I'm sticking with, bass boost. Headed down, I mean, there's nothing really else here. We'll go over to interface. There's some big ones in this category, let me tell you. Telemetry, this is all, you guys know about this. This is all preference. You know, you can put your ping, FPS, all that top left. You guys can see on my game right here, I got nothing top left because I'm not trying to get checked out when I'm on 40 ping or I'm on packet loss. So it's a good and a bad thing. Maybe I'll never know when I'm lagging, but at least I won't be checked out. We're gonna go over to some of the new ones this year, the HUD presets, and just where everything is on your game. I mean, the one thing you're gonna want to go with here, I am going to go on mission interface, and we are going to head over to the visual standpoint here. And what I've been doing is taking the compass, turning it off, and this seems to reset sometimes too. So 103, compass off, minimap opacity, I've been changing down to 90. I don't think it's going to even do much at 90, but it looks a little bit better for me. All right, it isn't so much in your face. The minimap is important, but lowering the opacity, it's not going to change much, lowering it this much, but that is what I'm changing it to. And make sure you guys always have your minimap on square. As you guys can see on the thing on the right here, I know my face cam's covering a little bit of it. The square minimap just straight up shows you more of the map, and that's what you want to get that competitive advantage over everyone. See more, see where your teammate's at, see where the enemy is shooting, get all the information you need off of the minimap. Headed over to colors. One of the big things every year is we change the color filter to filter 2, and we change the enemy to a more red color. It usually starts off one of these reds. I can't remember which one, but I always like switching to this darker red up here. I suppose you could switch to this lighter one, but I prefer the darker. A lot of people play on the colorblind modes as well. You know, green enemies and blue teammates. I mean, for me, it's gonna mess with my mind. You know, every game I've played for 10, 15 years has always been red, so that is what I am sticking with. Yeah, I think that might do it for layouts. And yeah, the mission interface just gives you a good default of where you are going to see the minimap and how it's going to look and everything. Obviously, it starts standard on the left side as well. You can move it inverted. You can do all this stuff. It's really cool that Treyarch added this year. I think it's gonna come up with a bunch of cool ones in the future. But for me, you know, I want to stick to the muscle memory. Look top left for the minimap and get all the info I need. So mission interface is gonna set you up there. Going down. Crosshair, for the last couple of years you've been wanting to run static, and this year they've also added some new color crosshair options, which is super sick. For crosshair dot, we are going to keep it on. That's the best. I've seen a couple people even using just the dot this year. So instead of having, you know, the outside of the crosshair, you only have the dot like you're playing CS or Valorant. For me, it just doesn't seem right, and I like kind of knowing, you know, when my aim or my hip fire is going to be really good, really bad. But one thing I did change is the crosshair color. So when you come to this, you can choose a bunch of default colors, or you can switch to a custom color. We are going to stick just to a default, so when I go to a different setup, when I go to a LAN, I know which color to pick and how to make it easy. For me, when I play CS, Val, any type of other shooter game that you can change your crosshair in, I like to pick a color that works well on most of the maps, and a lot of time you're going to want to stick in that yellow, green, blue range, because as long as you're not looking at the sky, these colors should work really well. When it comes to some like super sandy maps, yellow does hurt a little bit, or even like you can see in the picture on the right, when you come into a forest map, green does blend in a little bit. So white is always a good option, but I hate when it's a super bright map and the white is just hard to see straight up. So green is what I've been playing with at home and at the LANs, and I think I'm going to stick to that until I find that it messes me up. Going down, that is going to be all these settings, and yeah, let's head over to graphics to finish this one out. Really, there is not a lot of big things on here. You're going to want to play on everything low. Some of the big ones I'll go over really quick. Fidelity CAS at 100, that is going to be one of the main ones. You can also just look through and turn depth of quality or depth of field off. Particle resolution I like to keep on high, so you have a very good looking game, and I like to keep everything on medium or low. Along with on-demand texture streaming, you used to be able to turn this off, but now you can only turn it to minimal. So we're just turning that to minimal. I like to keep shadows on, and basically everything else you can turn off or low. Keep it at low. Deferred physics quality, we're not going to play any water maps like I said for comp this year, but this will show better water qualities when people are jumping in, jumping out, all that stuff. So if you like that, I would do that. And then just to show you guys what I'm playing on this year, 100 FOV, pretty standard, wide weapon view, then turn all your motion blur stuff off. Inverted flashbang, hey, I might have to get on that, but for pubs, but for comp, I ain't got to worry about the flashes for right now. So I think that's going to do it for the settings. Thank you everyone for sticking with me through the long settings video there. I know it has been a while since I have uploaded, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you guys have any settings or secrets that you want to share with me, make sure you guys comment down below, and hopefully I'll be able to get you guys some more uploads. And if you guys want to watch me live, make sure you check me on twitch.tv/Envoy to see the content before it comes here. But we will see you guys all next time, and thank you.